Good morning, everyone. Striving for excellence is at the heart of higher education. Worthwhile, while acknowledging the contribution of all aspects discussed here towards achieving excellence in higher education, such as developing R&D hubs at universities, brain regain, synergies between public and private sector, the emphasis of my speech will be on reskilling and upskilling the workforce and the important role that higher education has to play for the achievement of this goal. Reskilling and upskilling has been high on the policy agenda of the Ministry of Education, Sport and Youth, and a strategic goal of the Department of Higher Education in order to address the national challenge of skills mismatch. According to CENTEFOP, although it is important to have skilled people in the economy, this alone is not enough. It is imperative to match people with the right skills to the right jobs. Addressing skills mismatch presents a great challenge, and at the same time, it has become a national priority that needs to be urgently addressed. National data on the various types and extent of skills mismatch are scarce. Different types of mismatches, such as over-education, under-education, overskilling, upskilling, underskilling, skills gaps, skills shortages, horizontal mismatch, and skill obsolescence, need to be identified as well as their extent, since each one of these mismatches requires different actions. Therefore, high-quality national data about the labor market needs and what graduates do after obtaining their qualifications in higher education and training is essential to identify and address skills gaps and mismatches, monitor and improve graduates' employability, and offer learning opportunities to all people at all stages of their life and career to build up the skills they need to keep up with rapid changes and fully participate in the current and future workforce. In order to achieve this goal, the Department of Higher Education of the Ministry of Education, Sport and Youth has proposed and undertaken the project entitled Development of a National Graduate Tracking Mechanism and Design and Implementation of an Employer's Skills Survey within the Cyprus Recovery and Resilience Plan. The aim of the project is to collect national data on graduates' pathways after having leaving higher education, as well as data on labor market's current and future needs in terms of knowledge and skills. The project further aims to identify, measure, and monitor on a longitudinal basis the different types of skills mismatches from two sources of data, graduates and employers, and provide the evidence base to various stakeholders to make informed decisions that will ultimately contribute to increasing the responsiveness of Cyprus' higher education and training system to labor market needs. Furthermore, the results will be disseminated to the departments of secondary in general and secondary technical and vocational education and training of the Ministry of Education, Sport and Youth in order to proceed to the revision of the existing curriculum and the design and provision of professional training to teachers based on the results of the project. The Department of Higher Education's project in Cyprus Recovery and Resilience Plan includes 3 surveys: the National Graduate Tracking Survey, the National Employers Skills Survey, and the European Graduate Tracking Survey, EuroGraduate. The first cycle of the National Graduate Tracking Survey and EuroGraduate Survey 2022 has been completed, and the report of the preliminary findings was published on the 6th of October 2023 at the website of the Department of Higher Education. The target groups for the first cycle of both surveys were all graduates of the academic years 2016-2017, 5 years after graduation, and 2020-2021, 1 year after graduation, who completed programs of study in ISCD level 5, ISCD level 6, which is the bachelor's degree, level 6, the level 5 is the certificate and diplomas, and level 7, the master's degrees in higher education, at higher education institutions of Cyprus, both private and public. The report of preliminary findings highlights, among other findings, the following. Most graduates, more than 80%, are employed. However, a considerable percentage of graduates, 45%, reported being overeducated, that is, they have a higher level of education than is required by their job. The percentage of graduates who reported being horizontally mismatched, meaning those whose current employment is not aligned with the field of their program of study, was lower at the level of 15 to 20%. Overall, graduates reported that they possess a high level in all skills assessed, hard, soft, digital, and green skills. The highest score for skills assessed was noted for the soft skill ability to work productively with others, while the lowest for the green skill ability to make decisions towards environmental sustainability and the resource-efficient society and act accordingly. Graduates also indicated that their current jobs require a high level of all types of skills. Graduates reported significant overskilling in almost all skills assessed. However, for graduates in specific fields of study, health, technology and engineering services, findings reveals underskilling in terms of hard and soft skills. This underskilling was evident in recent graduates of the 2020 and 2021. In terms of graduates' participation in upskilling and reskilling activities during employment, findings highlighted a high participation in upskilling and reskilling activities, more than 50%. These activities were offered by their employer, either on a compulsory or voluntary basis. The primary motive cited by most graduates for engaging in upskilling and reskilling activities was the acquisition of hard skills directly relevant to their current jobs roles. These findings highlight the need for better labor market information and efficient job placement services. Moreover, they highlight the significance of updating the content of existing programs of study of Cyprus higher education institutions and the need to equip their graduates with knowledge, skills, and competences they will need in their employment. More importantly, it is evident that graduates need more specific hard skills as well as green skills. It is apparent that higher education institutions need also to proceed with the design and offer of short and more flexible programs of study, like micro-credentials, as new jobs and skills are emerging and graduates can no longer expect that a generic degree will suffice. Higher education should ensure access to learning and further studies for all individuals of all ages and backgrounds, at any stage of their lives, by removing any barriers. Through micro-credentials, higher education can promote lifelong learning whilst ensuring that there are no dead ends and there is always a route to keep learning and updating knowledge for personal development as well as for employment reasons. For this purpose, the Department of Higher Education has set as one of its priorities the development, implementation, and recognition of micro-credentials in Cyprus. Thank you for your attention.